What's going on YouTube? Big Dawg Brett. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for tuning in. Today we're going to be talking about the Big Ten coming back to college football. What? Right after this. Well, you heard me right. Apparently, the Big Ten has decided that they do want to play college football this year. So, I saw an article, Facebook ad, something or another, was talking about Big Ten coming back to college football. So I was like, all right, I've been sold I have been sold a bag of goods before. So I wanted to see what was going on. So I actually went over to big10.org and looked it up, and you have to go to the football section. But once you go there, it tells you, the whole thing here. Now I'm going to save you guys a ton of time. They haven't put the schedules out yet. They have no idea when they're going to start. They have no idea what the who's going to be playing who yet. They're playing, but here's what they do know. They're going to play an 8-week schedule with no breaks, and it's going to start on October 23rd or 24th. They're not sure. So apparently once it was leaked, I guess at Nebraska, that it was all said and done except for the official vote, which still hasn't come yet. So we don't know when that's going to be here, if it's even going to show up on time. But it seems like the cat's already out of the bag. Might as well go ahead and have a conversation about it. Now, there are some interesting things that come along with the Big Ten's process here. The Associated Big Ten is very proud of the groundbreaking steps that are now being taken to better protect the health and safety of student athletes and surrounding community. So basically what they're going to say is that they're going to fall back on we didn't want to really cancel the season, but we wanted to make sure it was safe. So we've been doing all this work all along. Then why didn't you just say that at the beginning? I'm sure somebody said something along those lines, but it doesn't appear to me that that was very transparent. So all 14 of the Big Ten institutions gets me every time. They're talking about all the data and everything they're going through. Now let's talk about the some of the interesting little features of this. If a player tests positive, he is out for 21 days before he can return to competition. Now, it doesn't say that's before he can return to practice, but it's saying that's the soonest he could return to competition. Now, maybe, depending on how you look at it, maybe they're saying, yeah. But it flat out says on the Big Ten's page, the earliest a student athlete can return to game competition is 21 days following a COVID-19 positive diagnosis. Then once they get a positive test, then they're going to have a secondary test to confirm the first test, which is a different test entirely. And then after that, that player has to be cleared by a university-approved cardiologist. So what's that mean? I don't know. What it likely means is that due to the pressure and the desire and drive from the students and the parents, that when they jumped out there initially, they painted themselves in a corner, and this is their way to try to get back into it. Now, if we, the Big Ten even goes so far as to post something on here that says the Big Ten Conference will use data provided by the Chief Infection Officer, which is a really weird name to have, to make decisions about the continuation of practice and competition as determined by team positivity rate and the population positivity rate based on a 7-day rolling average. That means they're going to test these guys all the time. Team positivity rate, number of positive tests divided by the total number of tests administered. green is 0 to 2%. So they're saying that they're okay with a 2% positivity rate. You have to have at least 100 players to get somewhere in the neighborhood of only 2 players. That puts you at 2%. Most teams have more than 100 players. Travel roster is like 70. But if you have 1 player, that's basically all you can have and still be in the green. Orange is 2 to 5%, so that's 1 to 2 players. And then red is anything greater than 5. The population positivity rate, the number of positive individuals divided by the total population at risk, which I don't know how they're getting that number, is green is 0 to 3.5%, orange is 3.5 to 7.5%, and red is anything over 7.5%. Decisions to alter or halt practice and competition will be based on the following scenarios. If it's a green or green-orange, the team continues with normal practice and competition. So if only 1 or 2 people get it, they're going to keep playing. If you get an orange or orange-red, team must proceed with caution, which as if they're not already proceeding with caution, and enhance COVID-19 prevention. After practice and meeting schedule, consider viability of continuing with scheduled competition. Well, as seriously as they're trying to take this, why would you not just continue with, why would you not proceed with caution? And how could you enhance your COVID-19 prevention? Why wouldn't you do that initially? But I don't make the rules. Red. If you have a red on red scenario, a team must stop regular practice and competition for a minimum of 7 days and reassess metrics until improved. So what you could see here is multiple teams with multiple players out for multiple games. I don't know that, and maybe another school does, but I don't know of any school right now that has this kind of format in place. It seems a little odd, but I'm not sure. Eventually, all Big Ten sports will require testing protocols before they can resume competition. Update regarding fall sports other than football, as well as winter sports that begin in the fall, including men's and women's basketball, ice hockey, swimming, diving, wrestling, will be announced shortly. So this is only football. Everything else is still up in the air. And I believe that's because of the tremendous amount of pressure that they were put under. There's more stuff here. You can read it. But my belief is that these players and parents, man, and I would imagine quite a few fans, put such a tremendous amount of pressure under on these administrations and on these teams. It's like, you guys didn't even give us an opportunity to tell you what we wanted to do. You guys just jumped out there and said, we're going to do what we want to do. And so I think the backlash was immediate. Does that mean that the Big Ten, does that mean the Pac-12 is going to play? Probably not. I don't see anything in the forecast for the Big 12 to come back and play. Somebody asked why why start on October 24th. Basically, that's because there's all these rules that say you have to have so many practices before you can actually play. That's one caveat. The other caveat is that they're going to play these games back to back to back. So you're going to start the last week of October, so you get basically 2 games in October, and then you're going to have 6 games in November, and then that's going to put you right into December. So they're trying to make it so that the Big Ten schedule will wrap up around the same time as everybody else's schedule who's throwing in bye weeks. That way they can be a legitimate contender for a playoff game, to try to give themselves the same amount of time that everybody else would have for the national championship and to be in that playoff arena. So absolutely waited to the last minute, but it looks like their guys are going to get to play. For those of you who are not familiar with the teams of the Big Ten, it's the main players that you're going to see is like Ohio State, Penn State, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan. And then you've got some other guys in there like Purdue, Rutgers, Nebraska, Northwestern, the Sparties for Michigan State, Maryland Terrapins, Iowa Hawkeyes, which I should have mentioned them earlier because they're a much more profound team or pronounced team, whatever you want to call it. And the Illinois, whichever variation of Illinois you want to talk about, doesn't matter to me. Still Illinois. So that having been said, I am going to be making a video going over the players that have opted out so far, my opinion on their take, how I think they're going to fit in. But I'm going to put that over in the members only section. So if you guys want to join, feel free to join. That's going to be over on the other side of the channel. I have to do something special for those guys because they do support the channel. It's not that I don't want you guys to have the content, but I have to give those guys a little extra love. So that's one way I'm going to do it. So if you guys would be so kind, if you made it this far in the video, hit like, subscribe, especially hit the thumbs up. We really appreciate it. Don't forget to become a member. Hit the bell notification. Tell your mom and them that we make videos over here about football, not just Georgia football, even though I love Georgia football. It's not just Georgia football. We talk about all brands of football throughout college. So you guys, I look forward to hearing from you down in the comment section. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you think. Glad to respond to you guys down in the comment section. I'd make it a personal pride point to try and address every single comment in my comment section. So you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Here it comes. You guys have a great day. God bless. Go Dogs.